Good evening, and welcome to PlayPSVR, the podcast. Sorry about our hiatus last week. I was covered entirely in snow, and I couldn't get to a computer, and Adam was covered entirely in buttholes, and he couldn't get away. He just can't help himself. When there's buttholes that close to him, he just has to get a fiddling. Today we're going to talk about a buttload of games, and we're going to discuss CopyCat games, and we're going to try to break some news, but I don't think there's going to be much to discuss. So, Adam, how was your podcast vacation? I missed you, buddy. It's been, 2 weeks now? We just kind of we ghosted the listeners. Are you proud of yourself?
You know, I kind of did, and I am proud of myself. I did enjoy the break. The thing is, we had a bunch of games to play. I somewhat had a backlog coming up, but, man, I just tapped those games. I beat Intruders, finished Eden Tomorrow, started The Wizard, beat Chroma Gun, platinumed Chroma Gun. Let's go. It was a good week.
So is that the official first platinum in the Platinum Challenge? You hung up the first points on the scoreboard?
Yeah. What can I say? You have now a hole to dig yourself out of.
I think what's happened is you're gaming me, man. I thought you weren't going to be going through with this. Suddenly you got a platinum up there and I got nothing. I mean, I could probably get through Chroma Gun, but that's going to delay me while you're going for number 2 and number 3.
Dude, we'll talk about Chroma Gun, but first I want to talk about my gamer juice. I mean, it's nothing super special, and I mean, it was good enough that I've already drank half of it because I started getting real thirsty waiting for you to put and powder your face to get ready for this bad dog. It's just simply Kroger brand black cherry sparkling water, but it's pretty good, very refreshing. It's clear, so I like to think that it doesn't have as much preservatives or artificial flavors, but probably not. Who cares? It's good water. Love it. If you're in a hankering of something more flavorful than water, check out the Sparkling Water series. It's a baller.
Is it as bubbly coming out as it is going in?
You'll have to find out.
Okay, can't wait to find out.
I think probably by segment 3 I'm going to have to take a leak, so I'll just whip it out right here and we'll just test it.
Okay, I was going to say report back, but no, we can do it live. We can do it live.
F it, we'll do it live.
My gamer juice this week is I went to the hardware store to get a snow shovel, and they had authentic sodas, rare sodas. This one's called Ace Root Beer. Made me think of Ace Combat, so I purchased it. It's going to be root beer, cane sugar, caffeine-free. Don't really know why I'm drinking it, but it's made in Minneapolis, so, got to support. It needs a can opener. I don't have one.
Ace Combat is my favorite tech demo. Or maybe it's Firewall. I don't know what. It's tough. It's one of my favorite tech demos. Okay, well, you attempt to open that.
I got it, Adam. Don't worry about it. I got it, but keep talking.
It's about time because I want to get into the games because we got a butt ton of them. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have 5 minutes each to talk about these games because I want to be succinct. I want to be thorough, and we can't ramble because otherwise the podcast will be like 2 hours long, and people don't like that long of podcasts. But if you do, let us know because we could talk forever. First off, I want to talk about Intruders Hide-and-Seek. So this was a game where everyone was talking about Chroma Gun. I was talking about Chroma Gun. He was talking about Chroma Gun. She was talking about Chroma Gun. I didn't see jack whoop about this game. And so it was a horror game, kind of, and I was like, let's dong diggity dog. And so essentially you play as a young boy, first person, and you have a nice little family. You go to a vacation home. It gets broken into. They kidnap your mom and dad and have them tied up in the basement and trying to get some information from your father. You have to help your sister who has some disease. You got to get her pills, all that stuff. So essentially there is no combat. It's a purely stealth game, which I actually thought was pretty interesting. So you're a little boy, and it's realistic because if you're a kid and you're going against 3 adults, it's not like Home Alone where you can outwit them. That's stupid. Here, what you have to do is you have the knowledge of your house, and then you have the fact that you're little, you don't make much noise, so you can sneak past them. So that's essentially what the game is about. It's very dark. The atmosphere is fantastic. The graphics were surprisingly really good. Honestly, the game was a lot better than I thought it would be. It's not horribly challenging. As you delve further into the game, the plot unravels and it gets a little more interesting. And the plot itself, I think, is actually pretty good. The only thing, I mean, honestly, there isn't anything I could say, well, they didn't do this well. There really isn't anything. the limitations are, I think, twofold. One, if you don't like stealth games, then it doesn't matter how good this is going to be because it's still a stealth game in genre. And I can definitely see why some people wouldn't like it. It's kind of slow. At certain points, it can be repetitive, especially if you keep losing, and you just got to have the patience. And it's very easy to lose patience playing the same sections over and over if you can't get past it. And then I mentioned this to you earlier, Alex. I had a hard time reviewing it because technically I didn't have like quote unquote fun in the sense that I play to the top and I get that thrill. There's a little stress here, but it's no like thrill, not like super fun. So it's kind of hard to rate a game like that. But overall, I was very impressed. The one thing I think that they could have done better is there were a couple introductory, they called them mini games, but it was components of gameplay that they showed you in the beginning, but they never used again, which is really confusing. Like in the beginning, you could hide in a cabinet, and when someone walked by, they had like a little heart monitor. And when it reached a certain point, if you kind of shook your controller, it was like you were calming yourself down. So if you shook your controller at the wrong time, or if you didn't shake it at all, your heart started beating faster, you started making more noise, and you were easily detectable. But they only did that once. It was a great idea, and the rest of the game, you never see it again. It was like right in the beginning where the introductory phase was too. So I don't understand why that, whatever. Also, I'm about ready to platinum it, big dog. So suck on that. Oh, I'm gonna be 2 in the hole.
Sorry. Is there a platinum for it?
Oh yeah.
So how long is this game? I'm not gonna buy it, but how long is it?
So it took me actually, I played it on Twitch, and I guess maybe this is a testament to how much I liked it. I started streaming on Twitch yesterday, and I finished it in one sitting. Like, I didn't even want to or mean to. It just happened. Because you get to a certain point, and you're like, well, I only have to sneak to that other room. I only got to make it to the cellar. I only got to make it to the garage. And so it pushes you to keep playing. But it was 2.5 hours, my stream was. Okay. And that was from start to finish. It's probably going to take me another, 45 minutes. There are different puzzle pieces and documents that you have to find to platinum the game. So it's going to depend on how long it takes to find those. But probably another 45 minutes max, I would say. And that's if I don't get tired of it and just don't cheat to find out where they are, if there is even a cheat online. So that's what you're looking at. Actually, believe it or not, I don't remember how much the game is.
It's $20. That's what I was just looking up right now. $20. So how do you feel about that? 2.5 hours, $20. It almost sounds like a really interesting horror experience. Like you're going to go see a scary movie. Pay $20 instead, you get to live it.
And the thing is, it is really a novel idea. I really like the idea and the execution of it. 2.5, obviously, that's not a ton of time. I would have liked maybe it to be $15.
Yeah.
But the plot, like I said, was good. It had a pretty good ending, and with how it looked, and I mean, there's a lot of things to go for it. So if you like scary games, if you like stealth games, definitely purchase this. Or even if you want, there's not been an experience on the PSVR like this. Home Sweet Home is the one that comes closest, but that is a little more, that's like kind of fake horror and more like jump scare type of horror. This isn't like that. This is more the anticipation and suspense, and has a different feel to it. So if you're not crazy into wanting jump scares, this is a game to get rather than Home Sweet Home.
So I'm the kind of guy who likes a stealthy game. I played Splinter Cell and Metal Gear Solid and did the whole no-kill run on those kind of games. I have a lot of fun with it. But the good thing about those games is there's always the payoff. You get to like a boss that you can just take out with like an assassination. Is there anything like that to look forward to. So it sounds like that's what your problem is with the game, is that there's all this tension built up and there's no release, Adam. You know, you just slowly wind yourself up constantly for an hour or 2 hours, and you never get that release, that satisfaction.
No, I don't think that would be it. I just think that the fact that it's purely a stealth game it's not riveting, you know? But gonna get my second platinum, so
yeah. I mean, it sounds like a really fun game. Not really fun, but it sounds like an interesting game at the very least. And I kind of appreciate VR games that make me feel a certain way, unless that feeling is frustration. But anything that makes you feel like suspenseful, or afraid or excited, that's all stuff I look forward to in VR, because you don't really get that in flat gaming.
See, yeah, I guess that's what's also tough, is that it's a great game, but it's not a fun game. That's like, if I had to subtitle it, that is what the subtitle would be.
A great game, but not a fun game. I can understand that. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the next game. The game I played was Xing: The Land Beyond by White Lotus Interactive. And if you've been listening for a while, you've heard me talk about wanting to play a game that reminds me of The Witness, Jonathan Blow's big adventure title with puzzles and stuff like that. I talked about Rangy looking like The Witness, got excited about that, didn't live up to it. I talked about Mind Labyrinth VR being like a meditative game, kind of like The Witness, got excited about that, didn't live up to it. Here we have Xing. It's the third game in a row that I've gotten kind of hyped for, something more meditative and peaceful to really, relax me and get a little bit introspective and get some of that fun Witness vibe. And it finally succeeds. So, Adam, I think Xing, out of all the games I've played, might be the least Adam game I could imagine. This is a game, right off the bat, you're dead. So there goes all challenge in the game, because there's no struggle to try to stay alive. And what you do is you walk around these beautiful landscapes. Usually they're like ruins of a old abandoned civilization. And you just solve simple puzzles, nothing really creative or ingenious, just enough to kind of make you think for a couple seconds while you're going through the motions. And you find little tablets with, a couple couplets or stanzas of poetry on them, telling you about the person that was there just before you. And you go and you read the 10 or 15 parts of the poem, and you learn about the person whose soul you're collecting. And you learn a little bit about the place, and then you go back and you bring the soul back to a pool and you drop it in the water, and the god tells you, go to the next land and do it again. And you learn some life lessons along the way. Adam, I can't think of something that you would hate more than Xing, but I can't think of something that I appreciate more than Xing. I've been wanting something like this on the PSVR, something that's really, I just play it and I'm just so relaxed and I'm so happy I'm playing it, and I don't feel pushed or rushed, and there's like barely any frustration. It's really wonderful. We played it on the Golden Stream. You can watch me play it. I joked around a lot, but the poems and the characters and the storytelling, it just gets me right in the feels, man. Like, it's not tugging at my heart, but I'm right there along with the girl on the beach, talking about being so lonely on the beach. What is it like to die alone? How do you come to grips with dying alone? How do you come to grips with losing your loved ones and having to move on? Things like that. Now, the game does have puzzles. It's puzzles kind of like something you might see in Myst, like an adventure game type puzzles. Simple things. Sometimes you got to there's one puzzle off the top of my head. You got these colored drums, and you got to bounce a ball on the colored drums in a certain order. And sometimes the drums move when you bounce a ball off of them, so you got to get the timing just right. Things like that. Then other things, just how to get, like a fruit. You set it on fire, you got to get it past a waterfall that would extinguish the flame through creative means. These puzzles are not huge mind benders. There's also a novel technique where you're changing from sunrise to or daytime to nighttime. You're starting rainfall, you're turning off the rain. So some neat elemental effects there, but really it's nothing that's going to really rack your brain, because the point of the game isn't to frustrate you or challenge you. It's to kind of just feed you little morsels of wisdom, or maybe just little bits to think about and then you solve these puzzles while just kind of marinating on those little morsels of wisdom. The game's beautiful. I think it was made by 3 people. It was a game that was put out on a Kickstarter. So it was kickstarted. And, usually when a game is kickstarted, I can't think of a good game that got kickstarted and came out successful and living up to its promise. I didn't fund this game on Kickstarter. I didn't know it was kickstarted until it came out. But wow, it has really delivered on whatever promise I could imagine. I can't imagine what they could promise and not have sold. This game just really soothes me out, and I look forward to the times that I spend with it, just learning about myself and learning about the afterlife. There's 4 levels. The game's going to take about 8 hours to get through, but even when you finish that, there's like 8 more special small levels where you just kind of walk through and you just get the story, and there's no puzzles. There's one about an old lady who lives with a bunch of cats, and she goes up to save one of the cats, and she falls out of a tree and dies, and she becomes a cat. And it's just, simple story, relaxing, nice to see what happens to old ladies. The environments are really interactive. There's a lot of things to play with. You can pick up a seashell, hold it up to your ear, and you hear the ocean. I'm really digging this game. I really love this game.
This game sucks. Let me tell you what. I watched you play it. I would rather drink your entire golden stream rather than play that game. It looks so boring, and people on the chat agreed with me. Holy crap, this game looks boring.
You are lying, because Will was on the chat, and Will thought the game was wonderful.
Dude, Will likes everything. Unless it's a VR apocalypse, he likes it all. I don't trust him one bit. He's just as bad as you are.
So I think this is like here's the dichotomy. I mean, Adam wants something that's going to stress him out, like Intruders Hide-and-Seek. I want something that's going to relax me and spiritually fulfill me, and that's something like Xing, The Land Beyond. And this is just who we are, Adam. And I appreciate that, VR doesn't have the biggest gaming library, but it's got a library that can accommodate the two. Look at the screen right now, Adam. I'm white. I'm the angel. I'm the happy guy. You're like the dark devil over there with your dark purple shirt looking at me with the demon horns trying to intimidate me.
Right. Okay. So for what it's worth, I was going to tell you something right now. Oh, it was going to be a joke about the only thing relaxed is your ureters, because every time you take a pee, you still dribble pee out your wiener for 5 minutes. Now I'm going to talk about Eden tomorrow, because talk about pee, it's that game, or at least a big old ween. So I talked to you about the demo, Alex, and I was like, this game's looking good. That was the highlight. The demo was the highlight of the game, because let me tell you what, a game had potential. The thing is, the demo showed you all of the gameplay. It is unlike any game that I've ever played in my life, to where obviously it's very plot driven. So essentially, like every other freaking space game known to man, you crash land, and then, you got to find out who you were, why you're there, how to get out, all that bull crap. So you embark on this journey. You have a little robot helper, which I like, and you have to essentially, in a sense, it's a walking simulator where you just walk. There is no combat whatsoever. Technically, you could die, but I mean, you have to like fall off a ledge or not listen to their commands or not be able to find things in a certain time limit to die. So really, you can't die. And so the demo, here's what happened. You crash landed. You then had to take control of the robot. There's a certain area in which you can switch between robot and man. You learn to scan. You traveled through some tunnels to find these little, I forgot what they called them, power capsules or something like that, to power up the robot Shockwave. You then shockwaved a metal piece that opened up a new passageway. You then kind of, walked across a very narrow rock ledge, and then you balanced on a beam, and you slid down a hill and had to use the left analog stick to move where you were sliding as you were falling down. So I was like, wow, that's a lot in a demo. And then I found out that after you surpass the demo, you play those, maybe 5 things? You do those 5 things over and over and over again. And the worst of it is that there are times in which you become the robot, and all it is that you have to find things. You go, I got to find a medikit. You have to find water. You have to find these capsules. It's just a big scavenger hunt. And it's so, the first couple times I was like, okay, that's cool, whatever. But at some point, when you do it 6 or 7 times, it's ridiculous. It's awful. It is so repetitive. It's so boring. The plot was actually good. The graphics were pretty good. But the game is so unbearably boring. and repetitive and just bad. The gameplay is awful. There's more action in Special Delivery. It is horrible. They absolutely butchered it. It had such a strong foundation, such a good idea. Everything was lined up to be a good game, and they butchered it with the way they executed the gameplay. It just, and if you did happen to die, F my life, you got like a 4-minute load screen. It was bad. A lot of it too was stealth, but it wasn't the good stealth. It just, there were a lot of things really bad. I can honestly say I did not enjoy it. I think I rated it a 5. The review's up on the website. And, I mean, it just 4 or 5 hours, $20, that's a good deal. But it's a deal you probably don't want. It's not the worst game I've ever played, but by golly, it's not the best. And I checked. It doesn't have a platinum. I was like, this is going to be such an easy game to platinum, and I'm going to get a leg up like a dog, lift my leg up on high and just urinate all over your face. But no, stupid effing game sucks so bad it doesn't even have a platinum. So I would have to tell you to pass on Eden Tomorrow. If it's $10 and you've already played a bunch of games and you want a new experience, maybe. But it's a bigger issue of it's not worth the time rather than the investment.
Well, thanks for peeing on me again. Adam, that's like 5 references already in this podcast of you peeing on me. Do you have something you want to say? Do you have something you're trying to express?
Well, what I want to express is why I love the color yellow and gold and orange and green and purple and red and blue. And you know why, Alex.
Yeah, I know exactly why, but I'm not going to get into that right now. That's just a discussion you and I have. Eden Tomorrow is $20. Xing the Land Beyond is, I think, $20. Intruders
Is it because I'm gay? Is that what you said? Is that what you mean?
Intruders Hide-and-Seek.
It's not. First of all, it's not true. I mean,
it's a nice rainbow, Adam. Intruders Hide-and-Seek is also $20. So these are all 3 more or less actionless titles, adventure games. Which one do you think would be the most definite buy? You're probably going to say Intruders. I think Xing is most bang for your buck. I just wanted to point it out. It's kind of interesting that they are all $20 and they're all kind of adventure games. I do have one thing I want to say, Adam. I think we need to give a name to what happens when you play a demo and you really enjoy the demo and then you play the actual game and it lets you down. I think there's a name for that effect, and I think we should call it the Tetris effect when that happens.
Effing Tetris effect. I've been Tetris affected a lot of time, man.
You're a victim of the Tetris effect.
I am, because effing Tetris effect, Stupid Eden Tomorrow, Firewall didn't have a demo, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't get...
The opposite of the Tetris effect was the persistence. You play that game, the demo was like, and then you play the full game and it blows your nips off, as you would say.
I actually never played the demo, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, Resident Evil 7, was that a Tetris effect or no?
I still think the demo to Resident Evil 7 is the most brilliant piece of PSVR we have on the system. I think that is better than the actual game. Like, if you're thinking about, like, what is more awe-inspiring and impressive. I mean, it is just out. I can't.
There's a surprising amount of depth in the demo, more so than I think you can expect in a full game, right? Like, the game has to cover so much ground. The demo is like such a concise experience, and it's just so chock full of interesting tidbits and secrets and things like that. And if you played just through it once real quick, you would have no idea that there's like an extra 3 hours of gameplay in that demo with stuff that you just walked past and didn't explore. It's awesome. Yeah. The demo should have a platinum, I think.
Dude, I refuse to delete it because I know if you delete it, you can't get it back, right?
Oh, really? I hope I haven't deleted it.
I don't think so.
It's like the best. Yeah, it's one of the best ways to play or introduce somebody to PSVR if they can stomach it.
Like, it is, you're the depth of it is just, first of all, I don't know how people realized how to find the monster, how to kill the monster. Some of those steps are so specific. I obviously looked it up because there was no way. You had to do things in a specific order and in a certain time. And I don't know, touche. Even knowing how to do it, it still took me like 4 tries to actually kill the monster. But oh my gosh, when I escaped. Okay, anyhow, let's talk about Chroma Gun because I loved Chroma Gun. I told you right off the bat, Alex, I beat it in 2 sittings, about a 4-hour game. Loved it. I was raising the hype like none other. I platinumed that bad boy. Easy. I mean, it was the most enjoyable platinum I've ever gotten in my life. I just thought the idea was so novel, in which you had this gun. It shot yellow, blue, and red. You shoot a wall a certain color and then a robot a certain color, and they attract. And just how they brought and executed and put the gameplay together along with the idea, it's just really fun. I don't know what it is about it. The music, just even watching you play it this week on the stream, just that music, dude, I feel it's like almost a spiritual experience. It just washes over me, and I'm calm, I'm collected, I'm thinking critically. I love it. And then, I mean, it's another one of like a little humorous games. You haven't gotten, unless you played it more since the stream, you haven't gotten to some of the parts that are also cool, and then they spice it up a little bit plot-wise. So it's not just, oh, you're walking through white walls and coloring robots and walls. But, I love it. I rated it, what did I effing rate it? 8.5. And the only reason I considered rating it 9, but I was like, is it like to the top level or something? Nah, not quite. But it's up there. This is a game. Here's what I'm going to tell you, then I'm going to let you tell us what you think, and then I'm going to be finished. It's very, essentially, Static and Chroma Gun are now tied for my favorite puzzle game. And the issue and the reason I can't have a front runner is if you want Chroma Gun is a more fun puzzle game, but the Static is the more clever and ingenious puzzles. So it depends on what you want to go for and which is the best puzzle game in the PSVR. But for me, right now, those two are tied, and it's just what personal preference do you have, which one is going to get pushed to the front.
Yeah, so I appreciate how much you like Chroma Gun, Adam. I appreciate how much you like Static. They're both very good games. I want the listeners to know I bought Transpose for you. It was a $10. Actually, I sent you $10 so you could buy Transpose while it was on sale. Did you buy Transpose?
What I bought is the extension to it's like Kaiku Golf Range for 100-foot robot golf. I bought some gamer juice and some bananas.
Okay. So all right. If you did, I'm mad at you. I hope you play Transpose because I think it's definitely a game that's up there with how good a puzzle game could be. That being said, Chroma Gun hits all the right notes, and I think I would love it more, maybe love it as much as you, if I hadn't played Portal before. So Chroma Gun basically takes all the boxes that Portal checked, and it boxes them itself. You know, the story's kind of ominous and mysterious and like sarcastically antagonistic. Chroma Gun does the exact same thing. You're running through yourself with this special gun that does this special thing that solves puzzles in a room where you're not really fighting anybody. Chroma Gun does that. Portal does that. But the Portal's in VR. That's one thing I got to give it. Not Portal. Chroma Gun's in VR. I got to give it that. Chroma Gun uses the aim controller. I got to give it that. And, you know, it's $20. It's made by some independent developers. You really got to tip your hat to them. They stepped up to the plate to give us more of an experience like the beloved Portal. And they really nailed it. You know, it's not a AAA title like Portal was, but it hits all the right notes. The puzzles are interesting to solve. They're fun to solve. It's a novel gameplay mechanic that I couldn't anticipate somebody making. And like Adam said, I haven't beaten the game yet, but I'm looking forward to playing more. I'm looking forward to seeing how they flesh out this relatively simple mechanic. I like that Adam said that there's a plot twist in there to it, or spice up the plot a little bit. That's exactly what Portal did, and it was a complete game changer for Portal. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in Chroma Gun. I don't want to set the bar too high because Portal's plot twist about halfway through the game is one of the most legendary plot twists. So I don't think it's going to be that good.
Oh, no. I maybe even played it up too much as is, like what you're thinking. It's just something that breaks up the monotony a little bit.
Okay. Well, yeah, so my parting words is if you're a fan of Portal and you want more stuff like that, Chromagun VR is probably the best you're going to do until Valve decides to release Portal on the PSVR, which they're never going to do because Valve makes Vive games almost exclusively now, if they even make games. So yeah, Chromagun VR, a fantastic puzzle shooter. I don't think there's combat. I haven't made it to combat yet. I don't think Adam wants to spoil us as to whether or not there's combat. I also think it's another $20 game. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's a good deal to have $20 or a good week to have $20 in your pocket.
Of the games, Chroma Gun's the game to buy. Of the games we've just talked about, I know you like Xing, and I know Xing is a lot more time for the $20, but it's also more boring than watching an empty trash can. Like, Chroma Gun is fun. It's a game. It uses the aim controller. I'm not going to take no for an answer.
For the typical gamer, I would have to concede, yeah, Chroma Gun's probably the best. Now, some people might have played Chroma Gun, they played it flat, and they don't really care to experience it again, and Xing is an option for you. So, yeah, we'll rank Chroma Gun number 1 and Xing number 2 this week, because I know we're really consistent with ranking games every week, aren't we?
So, if you know that you're a normal guy or a girl and you actually enjoy life, Chroma Gun's your game. If you like humping an empty suitcase, then Xing's for you. So we thank you for listening to us thus far. We're going to come back and talk about some CopyCat ripoff games, which games almost directly rip off one another, see what those are in PSVR, which one's the better one, just have some discussion, and then continue with our typical third segment antics. So thanks for sticking around. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to Play PSVR, the podcast. And so Alex and I realized there are a lot of PSVR games that are, I mean, I don't want to pass judgments here, but they seem like blatant ripoffs. Like, Alex is a blatant ripoff of a Fat Pen Gillette. Isn't that right, Alex?
That's right, Adam. Thank you. Thanks for bringing me back to that roast that somebody dropped on me.
I forgot who said that. But speaking of roasting, next segment we're going to mention our 2 roast box winners. Regardless, before we get to that, I want to talk about some of these games, Alex, because one, I think some of them are just absolutely hysterical. Other ones are sad. And right off the bat, well, we'll save a whatever. Let's screw it. Let's talk about some Mage's Tale and the Wizards. So those are the probably of the list we have here. These are the biggest names. So I started the Wizards, but I'm unable to say anything about it due to a embargo. So how about you cover this one? Because here's what I want to know, Alex, and you can answer this along with your thoughts on the 2 games. Technically, the Mage's Tale came first. So what constitutes as a copycat? Because technically, the Wizards is copycatting Mage's Tale because Mage's Tale came out first.
So yeah, the inspiration for this topic was actually Mage's Tale and the Wizards, because I haven't played the Wizards, so I can't comment on it too much, but I have played Mage's Tale, and here's what I think happened. I think the Wizards announced that they were coming out, and the Mage's Tale wanted to swoop in and take some of that money. Well, I think the Mage's Tale is probably in development first. It's got the Bard's Tale, lore behind it. So in Exile Entertainment, they're an established studio. They're obviously not trying to rip anybody off necessarily. But the Mage's Tale was announced and the Wizards was announced. And right there, it's kind of a race to see who is going to come out and take the title of the most fun sorcery, spellcasting, action RPG game out there. And, we all thought they were going to be released at the same time. But what happened? The Mage's Tale came out like a month earlier than anybody expected, giving it a month head start on everybody, meaning everybody, they're ravenous for both these games. They're going to pick up the Mage's Tale. What I think happened, In Exile Entertainment got bought by Microsoft, and they're not going to be supporting PlayStation games much longer. I think that they rushed to get their game released and have it come out before the Wizards, because they knew it was going to be an inferior game. If you play The Mage's Tale, you can see that it's like they took some animation shortcuts. The game is glitchy as all get out. I've had to replay like half the game because I got locked out of a room. I died and I respawned out of a room where the door locks until you can kill the enemies, but the enemies are still inside the room and I'm locked out of the room and I can't open the door. I can't interact. Half the time, my hands don't even recognize that I'm using them. I can't grab anything. They just won't even close. Can't even cast spells. If I watch footage of the Wizards, it looks like a graphically superior version of The Mage's Tale. It looks like a more action-packed version of The Mage's Tale. When I play The Mage's Tale and I try to throw an ice spear, it just limply falls to the ground, and I have no idea how to fix that. I've tried a bunch of different ways. Like maybe 2 out of the 5 times I throw an ice spear, it actually launches. However, the Wizards gives you like an ice bow and arrow. That is such a wonderful solution to this problem of not having to throw things, but you cast these spells and you get cool weapons based on your spells, and there's still environmental effects and there's still elemental effects, and the boss fights look like actual boss fights. This is my inspiration. We know, the developers know too, that 2 games that are very similar are coming out. One is going to push it forward, or one is straight up trying to rip off the other one. So right off the bat, I think The Mage's Tale is the copycat of the Wizards, in the sense that The Mage's Tale just kind of, they saw what the Wizards were doing. They were kind of doing something similar, and they just pushed it through, man. They just pushed kind of a broken feeling game right on through, and at our expense. And I know you can't talk about the Wizards, so I won't expound upon it much more. But yeah, that's what we're talking about.
So I think, first of all, your ice javelin, I had the same issue. Your camera is tilted too far down.
Okay, if I tilt it up, then nobody's going to be able to see me. This is dumb. Fix it.
I mean, I'm not saying, really jump it up, but I noticed every time I tried to throw it, like when your arm goes up, the tracking is too high. It loses it. And so it just drops it. That's why it's happening. So you just need to tilt your camera up some, and then that, or throw it sidearm. Those are your 2 options.
When I do the, where it shows you what you look like so you can test your viewing, the camera view and stuff, make sure you're not going to hit anybody.
But you're raising your arm to throw it.
Right. When I do that test the view thing, I hold my arm straight up and I'm still in, I hold my arm straight in the air and I'm still in view of the camera. So it can't be that. It's just the game it's buggy and it's been rushed. It's a rush job. It's a botch job.
It's a botch job. Huh. Well, then that's weird. Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I think it is. I don't really understand how, and you see it with technology too, not games, but actual electronic technology. Someone comes out with a report of a new technology, and then boom, everyone starts coming out with it. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. Did In Exile hang out? They saw the introductory, the Wizards is coming out, and being like, wow, that's a good idea. Can we get it out faster than they can, and then just develop it faster and push it out? I don't understand how seriously, we have probably 10 blatant ripoffs of games here for the PSVR alone. I don't understand how there are 2 that similar. That just blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't know if games are already in development and they just kind of steer the development towards another to try to get some of that market share. I don't understand. And to be fair, not all of these games that are quote unquote ripoffs are actually bad games. Some of them are actually pretty good. But let's just move on down the list. The next one, I don't think you've played either one, but it's obvious to me that Mind Labyrinth VR and Xing the Land Beyond. Mind Labyrinth VR, it looks like they saw the Kickstarter for Xing, which probably the fact that Xing was independently developed and kickstarted probably gave Mind Labyrinth people some time to work on their game and rush something out there similar. But when you play Mind Labyrinth and you play Xing, you can tell that one of the games is obviously cribbing on the other. You walk through Xing and you get these quotes and you find these hidden runes that tell you these spiritual things. You walk through Mind Labyrinth, you get these quotes, you find these hidden runes that tell you spiritual things. They both have kind of, some nice soft music and some lush environments, and, it's all about relaxing. They're almost the same game. It's just one has obviously been thought about a lot more, and that's Xing, Mind Labyrinth VR. I don't know what more to say. It's amazing to me that they can just push out a game that quickly. I don't want to accuse them of ripping it off, but it really feels like they just pushed out a game as fast as possible to try to get something to steal some of the Xing market share before Xing could really come out and zing us all. Adam, how do you feel about Mind Labyrinth and Xing? You haven't played either one. You've heard me talk about them. You've seen some footage. Does one look better than the other to you?
Here's kind of come a real kick in the crotch for you. I would rather play Mind Labyrinth because it's shorter.
Okay, yeah, I guess Mind Labyrinth is shorter. I got a platinum, but the platinum doesn't count because it's old.
That's
okay.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So here's one you can talk about, Adam. I don't know if this is a straight ripoff, but they're very, very similar games to a degree. Super Hot and Just in Time Incorporated. How do you feel about that?
You're stupid. I didn't see you write this. This is stupid. What are you talking about? They're not alike.
They are both very similar games. They're time-controlled games about moving. You don't think they're alike? Okay.
GTFO, dog. These are two totally different games. The one is first person. You're in the Matrix. The other one is just a creative block game. Get the F out of here, dude.
All right, next game on the list. Headmaster and Summer Lesson featuring Adam's mom. Yeah. Which one's better?
I don't even. What is Summer Lesson featuring my mom?
It's when you go on a date with your mom.
What's
I guess
Summer Lesson?
You know what? It's actually, I guess that doesn't even count because Headmaster and Going on a Date with Your Mom is the exact same game. Next on the list, we have Track Labs and Electronauts. So did you play Track Labs, Adam? I don't know if we got a code for it.
I'm not a music guy, dude. I haven't played either one of these.
Okay, I played Electronauts, and, like a week before Electronauts came out, Track Labs came out, and everybody was like, wow, you can make like 5 songs in this game. Way to go. It's really underwhelming. Pushed out by some Chinese studio. Yeah, so that's just another one. Electronauts is a fully fledged game. I don't know how they do it. They come out so quick. Adam, did you play Audio Beats and you put Drum Hero or whatever? I think it's called Happy Drummer. Did you play either one of those?
I played Audio Beats. I was actually talking about it's almost just like that Guitar Hero game with the drums. What's
There's
that called?
Guitar Hero game with the drums? Oh,
yeah. Are you effing kidding me? You're an idiot. Yeah. I mean, it's like Band Hero, I think, because it has a bunch of stuff and drums were included.
Oh, you're not talking about the VR game. You're just talking about like Rock Band.
Yeah. Oh, Rock Band. That was it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, how was Audio Beats?
Bad.
Okay.
It was the drums were too close together, so it was very hard to differentiate. There were a lack of songs. It was very difficult to do well. The songs weren't that good, so there wasn't a lot to say, good things to say about it. So it was bad. I guess that wasn't a PSVR ripoff, but certainly here soon we're going to have another drum game, I'm sure. Because it's a good idea. It just needs to be done well, and that one certainly was not.
So here is one that I think is obviously a ripoff.
This is my favorite one. This is my favorite one.
You hear the names, and you know that one's ripping off the other to their detriment because I think the game might actually be good. But, Adam, looking at Beats Fever and Beat Saber, which one is the ripoff here? Which one do you think is the copycat?
Beat Saber is the ripoff because Beats Fever came out first. The thing is, Beats Fever came out maybe 3 weeks before Beat Saber. When I saw this, I just laughed. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what are they thinking? Like, could you not come up with a better name? A different name? Like, why not call it, instead of Beat Saber, Beats Saber? Well, yeah, pretty much, it's so funny. And you are correct that it isn't to the detriment because Beats Fever is actually, I think, a very underrated game, and it does some things better than Beat Saber does. First of all, there are 40 songs. I'm pretty sure that's correct. There are a lot of songs, and maybe like 39, but there's like 40 songs in Beats Fever. There are different genres of songs. They've got rock. They've got the stuff that make you cry like a little girl. They've got the techno and the electronic. They've got country. They have all types of songs that you can play as. They change the environments in the background, unlike Beat Saber. The gameplay isn't quite as good because rather than swiping and actually destroying blocks with a Beat Saber, you just have like a little wand and you hold it.
You have a light dildo.
You have a light dildo and you hold it up to crystals that are coming to you. I mean, obviously, that's not as much fun. It reminds me very much of Run, Dorothy, Run. But I guess that's another game that somewhat is ripping. Technically, Beat Fever ripped off Run, Dorothy, Run and Beat Saber. Regardless, so it really isn't a bad game, and it does some things well. I remember Solo joined my stream once, and he was like, dude, this game, what a ripoff. It sucks. And then he reviewed it. And then he ate crow because, I mean, it's not a great game, but he was like, it's a lot better than I thought it would be. And so I enjoyed Solo just all that crow. He probably got sick from all that crow. Obviously, Beat Saber is a better game. It has the better music. It's more polished. It's more fun. But I do think that they could have learned a thing or two from Beats Fever.
Interesting. So this next one, I don't even think there's a clear ripoff here. I think this might have been pure serendipity in one game coming out at the exact same time almost as another game, and they happen to be very, very similar. I'm talking about Cool Painter VR and Sculptor VR. And I think they both have the same weird name where they get rid of the E before the R at the end of the title. But
yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so which you played both of these games, Adam. Which one is the ripoff and which one's the winner? I bet you can't even remember which one was which, because I can't.
No, I can. They were both. The thing with these games, it's difficult because you, like Dreams, you have to put in the time to actually create something worth sharing. And that was difficult with both things. Cool Painter VR is so complicated, and it takes such a fine touch to create something that looks good that I have to give the winner, and that isn't to say that's a copycat. I'm saying the one I would prefer to play is Sculptor VR because it's easier to pick up, play, and make something and have a creation. So that's the game I would recommend to you. They're both definitely different. Cool Painter has more potential. If you put in the time, you can create better artwork with Cool Painter than you can with Sculptor VR just because Sculptor VR is more rough on the edges and it has some cool features certainly, but it's just not as pretty or detailed as Cool Painter is. But again, it's easier. And so Sculptor VR is a little easier also to create a free-form 3D image where Cool Painter is not. It's kind of like you create a 2D and then you expound it and turn it into 3D. And I don't know. I think maybe you're right. At first, I was like, these things are definitely like ripoffs. Maybe they're not. It is odd, though, that they both got rid of the E at the end of the name. It's both Cool Painter VR, Sculptor VR, that they were released so close that the general idea is, okay, it's a 3D artwork game. There's a lot of similarities, but I think maybe you're right. It's just different. I don't know. But, yeah, it's definitely I would give it to Sculptor VR if you had to pick one.
I thought for sure that we just screwed up the names, but nope, they are definitely Cool Painter VR and Sculptor VR.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. I know what I'm doing. So
That's really impressive. I do have to give the nod to Sculptor VR. I haven't played either one, but Sculptor VR had an update where you can like zoom into the world and then fly around in a hang glider around your creation, which sounds really fun. If I was creative, I'd probably have a hell of a time playing that game. But I'm not creative. I'm very, very not creative. I don't know.
Sucky. Bored.
Sucky. There you go. Just rip them at me. Rip them at me while I pull up the script. Adam, last game. Pirate Flight and Ultra Wings.
This hurts me. Oh, this hurts me. Because I love Pirate Flight. Dude is still coming out with updates. He is in it for the love of the game, man. But definitely a blatant ripoff of Ultra Wings. Like, when that came out, you knew Ultra Wings was coming out. It has the same idea as Ultra Wings, just doesn't do it as well. It's a fun $3 game, though. You know, fun experience to throw someone in to maybe ease them into the flying world of virtual reality. But, is there any, what's that called, save face for Pirate Flight?
Is there any saving grace, or is there any way for Pirate Flight to save face? I think if they could add multiplayer to Pirate Flight, maybe you could race like it was Diddy Kong Racing or something like that. That would help them out a lot. It will be interesting to see which one of these games supports the 3D rudder when it comes out. If Pirate Flight does the 3D rudder first, then Ultra Wings is the copycat, baby.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, I think we've kind of exhausted the copycat discussion, but thanks for just running down the list with me, Adam. I just think it's kind of interesting that the VR catalog, it's growing and it's decent size, but it's nowhere near the size of most video game catalogs, and we're still seeing this amount of redundancy in game design. It's kind of surprising, especially when games are so close to each other and how they're designed. Somebody's got to be ripping somebody off. But
come on with some new ideas.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is, I didn't put it on the list here. A game that was announced this past week, maybe last week, it's kind of a ripoff of Beat Saber, but instead of slicing blocks, you're shooting the blocks. And just like you mentioned Rock Band and Guitar Hero, it's the company that made Guitar Hero, Harmonix. They released the music VR or music player, Harmonix VR or whatever. They're releasing a competitor to Beat Saber, but instead of slashing blocks, you're shooting it. I'm really looking forward to it. These guys know what they're doing with music games. I think that's a really interesting idea, and honestly, it sounds like they're copycatting Beat Saber and just trying to take a little bit to make it their own with the whole shooting aspect. Would you be interested in a shooting version of Beat Saber?
The thing is, I enjoyed Beat Saber enough that I would definitely be interested. I would definitely play it. Now, I don't know if it's going to be as fun. It's just something about slicing a block. Although I will mention Beat Saber is infuriating because I'm not going to get into it. Let's cover some news.
All right, news. First up on the news, Adam's heart is broken because Little Star has gone away from being free, and it is now a subscription service. I think it's something like somewhere between $2 to $7 a month, something like that. Honestly, unless they get like some regular, uploads from licensed movies or something like that, I don't know why anybody would pay to use Little Star. I mean, I know it's the only way for you to get your jollies off with that Pornhub subscription that you bought yourself.
You got Monsters of the Deep. You have Cindy Aram right there.
Summer Lesson, Headmaster. I mean, there's plenty to enjoy.
My Mom.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. So it's news. It's newsworthy. Other news is VLC, the popular open source media player, is coming to PSVR. It's getting PSVR support, I think, when version 4 rolls around. So that'll probably be happening later this year, which means Little Star will be completely unnecessary because we'll have another way to sideload videos on our PlayStation VR. Other news, we have Dreams. The game that everybody loves to make stuff in. We all want to see how it does with VR. The demo didn't have VR. It's getting an early access mode. It's coming out a little bit early. You pay $29.99. It's kind of like a glorified beta test version 2 of the game. And if you buy it at $29.99, you will get the full game at the full price when the full game releases. That's kind of a nice deal, especially for people who are rabid for the game and they want to get there early. Now, there's no word on whether or not this early access version is going to actually have VR support. But I think this is actually a really clever idea. They're releasing the game at a lower price, and they're letting the content creators get in there and really populate the servers with their curated content and kind of building up stuff so that when the game gets a full launch, everybody jumps in and there's all sorts of awesome stuff to play with. Let's hope the VR is going to be thrown in there too, because I'd hate for the VR to be put on the back burner. Like I said before, I think that we might be disappointed in the VR implementation because it's been so hidden from us so far. Adam, are you going to jump into Dreams and the early access for $29.99?
Yeah, I wasn't that thrilled with the beta. It's another one of those games that, okay, yeah, if I want to put 15 hours into creating something, but I personally don't want to do that. So I figure, these people are making good money to create games. Why should I do it for free and spend my time? I'm not going to do that. So I wasn't that impressed. I wasn't impressed with creating games. I wasn't impressed with the games that people created. It was cool that someone created Mario, but okay, I'll give you props. But you made a game that already existed. I would rather just play Mario on the Nintendo. I don't understand it. VR, maybe it could be cool. If we get code for this, I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to touch it. I really was not that impressed. Also, So the early access is $30. So you said you get the full game for $30 when it comes out, so you don't have to buy anything again.
Yeah, when the full game comes out, you'll get the full version of it as they add content to it. So that's really good. But Adam, I want to ask you, in light of our topic, Dreams or Trainer VR, which one is the copycat?
Ooh, I can't go against Trainer VR. Here's the thing. This week, I constantly thought, like, dang, I want to get back in there. But we have all these games to review, and I can't do it. Dude, Trainer VR is the real deal. I mean, it's fun. It is fun.
All right.
So, yeah.
Last little bit of news. There was a game announcement this past week, a game called Undead Citadel. They released a trailer just kind of out of nowhere. I forget who the developers are. I don't know if I showed the trailer to you, Adam. I watched the trailer. It looked a lot like a more polished version of In Death. In Death was that wonderful roguelike game that we both enjoyed very much. A lot of bow and arrow and crossbow action, but this had a lot of melee stuff. So do you have it in you to go back and fight these zombies or whatever, but crushing them with hammers instead of shooting arrows up their butts?
I would like that much better. I think, yeah, I like that. I like the physicality. I think I don't know if it increases immersion. It's just more fun. So, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, the trailer looks very good. Now, whether that's going to translate into the actual game, that's to be seen. Did you, by chance, pick up a sword at all in Mage's Tale? Because I just did this past week when I was playing it. Did you ever find any swords laying around?
Maybe I have, but I never used them.
Yeah, I found 2 of them, and I ran over to some enemy with 2 swords in my hand, and it just went right through the enemies. It made me so mad because it would be so fun to just whack one of those goblins with a sword. But instead, it just clipped right through them. No interaction at all, and I had to drop weird fireballs on them, and that was, man, Mage's Tale makes me mad. All right. Now that I'm mad, let me save this anger for our segment 3 so we can get into the airing of grievances and announce the Roast Box winner, the losers who are going to be winning the Roast Box 2019. So take a breath, collect yourself, and we will see you after the break. Welcome back to Play PSVR, the podcast segment 3, where we air our grievances. Adam saying I look like Penn Jillette. Adam, I want you to tell me the airing of your grievances. What's getting you riled up this week?
So here's my thing. And, I mean, I don't know. Part of me, I'm like, good for you guys. Another part of me, I don't understand, and I get upset. Oh, everyone who covers PSVR, it seems like, is also moving to Oculus and HTC. So they're becoming more of a everything VR. Why can't people just stick with PSVR? I understand, okay, the library is limited, but it's not like there aren't games coming out. We've got 3-4 games every freaking week now coming out. What I don't understand even more, and maybe this is why I'm aggravated, and it's probably maybe because I'm jealous. Where the F do these people find the time? We split games half and half pretty much. I still barely have time. And if you think about it, they spend more time doing reviews and videos than we do. Like, do you not do anything else other than play video games and review them? Or I don't understand. Do you just stay up and not get sleep? Or maybe you have a job to where you can do it while work. I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest. That's one of the big reasons why I like written reviews, because I can go to work and I can write a review and it looks like I'm writing a email. So I can kind of do that while I'm at work. That's why I don't do video reviews. I don't have the time, dog. Like, I want to have a social life and I have hobbies, and I don't understand. So I don't know if it's because I'm jealous because I don't have the time. I don't know what it is. But when I see these people in their PSVR, I'm like, all right, brother. And then they start doing other VR. I feel like I don't know. Like why? Why can't you just stick with one thing? I'm not like torn up about it, but I'm always just like, I don't understand why. Why not just be devoted? And so for everyone listening, if you only have PSVR, I promise you, we will never, ever do anything other than PSVR. Alex played a flat game this week, Apex Legends or whatever that is, and I was mad at that. And
I'm not talking about it, man. I'm not talking about it. This is PSVR.
I'm mad that you played it. So that is how what's a good word? That's how angry I get at not PSVR type stuff.
You know what I'm gonna tell you, Adam? I figured out why these people are suddenly going to other VR outlets. It seems like just recently people started flocking a little bit and getting hyped for other VR outlets. You know what it is? I'll give you 2 words. Little star. The subscription came along. People got to get their fix somewhere else now.
That could be it.
Instead of buying a subscription, they're going to pony up $400 and buy that Oculus Quest so they can get it anywhere they're sitting, baby.
Yes, I guess also on a more serious note, I suppose it does. Like having more VR, you can get more fans and you can get more outreach. So I guess that is definitely true. Like I don't know anything about anybody their intentions or anything. I'm not talking about anyone in particular. That is true. So I guess if you're trying to create a channel that maybe you're trying to make a little money off of since you're spending so much time, maybe that's a good move. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I'm happy where we're at. And I can't imagine doing anything else. Like, I just don't know where the people get time. And some of the people we've had on the podcast, they have effing kids. Like, what the heck? I'm a single dude, and I still don't have time for this stuff.
I think the issue is twofold, Adam. I think, 1, we're both very bad at video games. And 2, we're both very bad at creating content. That's probably what it is. Everybody else is more skilled than us. I can understand it. We're just too stupid to make video reviews. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what.
We think these guys are taking all this time. They probably just pump it right out because they know how to use computers. But me over here, I'm writing my reviews down on pen and paper and then scanning it into a fax machine to try to get it on the computer.
Yeah, I have one of those projectors that I write on the clear.
Get a smack it so the light bulb comes on?
Yeah, I can't tell you how many reviews I've accidentally wiped off the face of the planet because I used a little too much of my forearm, but it is what it is. So that's my grievance. What do you got this week?
My grievance is Mage's Tale, man. I came into that game digging it so much. And when that glitch happened to me, first of all, I was walking through one level and there was a puzzle and I tried solving the puzzle and I didn't get it and it killed me. And then when I respawned and the puzzle was solved. And that just took all the steam right out of my sails. And then I went into the next room and I started fighting enemies. And for once in the entire time I played the game, I died fighting enemies. I guess I got too creative with my spell casting or something. And I was kind of excited. There was finally a challenge to the game. But then I respawned outside of the room. And the room glitched. And I restarted the level. Still spawned me outside of the room. I left. I went to a different arena, different level. Went back to the same level thinking to do a checkpoint, respawn me outside of the room. I think I even did like restart level. There's an option or something. It was like load last checkpoint. Did that. Same thing. Same damn thing. And now I'm playing through the game again. I got to play from the beginning. It just pisses me off so much. It makes me so mad. It's just so busted. So busted. No, my other grievance. Why don't these games just use Skyrim's controls? Skyrim nailed it with the move controls in the first-person game, and these people still think they have something better. Xing, I love you. I don't know what you think you're doing trying to do something other than the Skyrim controls. Hit X to turn left, hit O to turn right, and let's just call it a day, guys. I don't need walking. I can walk with the move controller. I don't care. Just let me hit the button and start moving in the direction I'm looking. It's just, I don't know. Skyrim did it. They did it, and it's been around, and it's there for a year. Fix the controllers, guys. We don't have an analog stick. We all want analog sticks. They're not giving it to us because Sony hates us. That's fine. Use the move controller settings that Skyrim had. It's perfect. Don't touch it. Don't get creative. You're not better. We all love it. Standardize it. That's it for my grievance.
I like it. I think now let's hit some news for everyone. I'm trying to come up with a new little saying, but we do got some, or not news, we're covered news. I'm an idiot. Let's talk about upcoming games.
Because
we love games. Okay, first one is the Art Slinger. And I've never heard of this game, but the PlayStation description is get your trigger finger ready for the fast-shooting VR world Art Slinger. Entrusted with the mythical gun Archangel Heart, you must take down the villainous Gold Smoke and his dastardly gang. Do you have what it takes to become the Art Slinger? I haven't looked at gameplay of this, but it sounds like another Western. Why? How many Westerns are we going to have? We're going to have a lot.
It sounds like a complete copycat game of Cold Iron, Game of the Year 2018.
You're right.
This could be the Cold Iron of 2019, man.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, up next for the third time releasing on PlayStation VR, we have Honor and Duty D-Day. So I guess the previous ones were betas. I guess they're finally fully releasing the game. It takes place during the D-Day landing in World War II. You play team deathmatch of domination in 32-player matches. You drive tanks, jeeps, and trucks in large open maps as you search for the enemy. Now, our homeboy, GCVR, God Cannon VR, he did a stream on YouTube playing this with the 3D rudder, and it looked pretty good. So it's kind of a showcase of the 3D rudder, more so than the game, but that's fine with me. You know, this game was fun. It was cheap in the beta version, and it even had a Battle Royale mode, which Adam mentioned. I'm playing Apex Legends. I'm digging this Battle Royale stuff, and I would love to play some Battle Royale in VR. So if this checks that box and the developer seems really excited about it, I'm excited about it with them. I say we all jump in and have a grand old time listening to the 9-year-olds drop F-bombs and teabag us when they kill us in this Call of Duty clone.
I love it. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I wonder, it's probably not going to be free anymore. That's too bad.
Probably be cheap.
Yeah. Next, we have Summer Funland. That just sounds like something where I would get handy from your mom on the merry-go-round. But instead, it's a VR experience, and it says specifically VR experience, which, I mean, so you roller coasters, mini games, motorcycle rides, underwater voyages, space trips. It looks, I don't know why. Why can we not just have a roller coaster creation, like simulator or game in PSVR? This isn't what that is. When I first saw it, I was like, this is it? This isn't it. Like, am I going to have to develop it myself?
That's exactly right, Adam.
I want Trainer VR to be roller coasters. Roller coaster VR. Boom.
Roller coaster trainer. Roller coaster trainer. Space pirate trainer.
Roller trainer VR. And you can have the trains and the coasters, ba-bang! And you can create your pyramids of cows and just watch them bite the dust. That would be awesome. You know,
I'd be interested, Adam, to see what kind of a game you made if you got into game development. Maybe we should pivot the PlayPSVR to a development studio. You know, just hire a couple of dudes to make some games for us. We put our names on it, claim all the credit. That sounds like a good way to go.
Actually, it could be fun. I could come up with a good game. Let me tell you what. It's just you tell me the genre, I'll make a good game.
Butt kissing.
Butt kissing. Okay, here's what you do. Instead of just knowing you're going to kiss a butt, what you do is you have to close your eyes, or I guess in virtual reality, it will put a blindfold over you.
A VR game where you close your eyes.
Exactly. To add the realistic expectations and actual immersion, you actually close your eyes. And then in real life, you know how they have the VR eye zoom or whatever it's called? And now we have 3D rudder. So there's an accessory that it looks like a hurdle that you would jump over for track. And it's got a rotating belt on it. Some of it's butts, like silicone butts. And then other times it's, I don't know, a frog's mouth. Or it's actually a cute girl. And so in VR, you close your eyes, you're blindfolded, and I guess it would be too easy to go and actually grab because you could be able to tell it's a butt. You just gotta.
So this game you're describing, you already said it's a peripheral, and you close your eyes. You don't need the VR at all. There's not 1 ounce of what you just described that needs to be in VR. You just need fake butts on like a stick. Adam, play PSVR Game Designer of the Year.
No. The thing is, when you kiss the butt, when you pull back from kissing, the VR shows like it's an iguana, like doing a stupid face if you actually kissed it, or if you got. I don't know. Do you want the butt or do you not want the butt? That's what
I don't know. I just love how I challenge you to think of a game, and the first thing you think of is completely not VR. You're just wearing a headset for no damn reason. All right. Moving on to the next game.
The headset is the blindfold. There you go.
Okay. Moving on to the next game coming out next week. Sorry. Vertigo Home. This game already came out in Europe, so if you're European, you might already be playing it, or you might already not want to play it.
You might be in the bathroom.
You might be in the bathroom. European, I get it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Vertigo Home is an endless runner set in 90s space western universe. Fly through and above a tunnel that you steer with your head to avoid collisions with bizarre and dangerous obstacles. This is VR. The doors of perception.
This sounds like a blatant ripoff of Hex Tunnel.
It sounds like Hex Tunnel. It sounds like Polybius. Watching the video, though, I'm intrigued. You know, if it doesn't take itself too seriously and it just kind of... I saw dancing skeletons. Looks like somebody stole some clip art from Windows 98, which I can get behind that in VR. Windows 98 in VR. Looks like a screensaver. I'm interested. Let's pony up. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And while we're at it, let's pony up and spend some money on the sales this week, which hopefully, there's not many of them, sadly, but I mean, there have been so many games that come out, and we've had such good sales recently that it's okay. There's not too many, but what do we have this week, Alex? I'll tell you whether it's a good buy or not.
Yeah, I know you're going to love this. Chroma Gun VR for $15.99.
Buy it. Especially buy it now since it's cheap. You'd be a fool. You are an absolute moron, an idiot.
Okay,
this
okay.
is
calm down, Adam. Don't be
right here. It's my tech demo of the week, and it's not a tech demo, but you'll see here in a bit.
Loading Human Chapter 1 for $9.99.
You can buy this game physical for $9.99. I actually found it at Walmart for $9.99. But I did research. I haven't played it, but it looks real bad. It's not going to have good reviews, especially now that VR is further along than it was in that first year. Don't buy it.
VR Ping Pong $3.74.
No.
End Space $5.99.
You were the one who actually played this, so you should
do it. It's good. Transpose for $9.99. Adam, did you buy it yet?
I told you why I bought.
Jerk.
Wait, can I platinum it?
Yeah, actually, I need to platinum it.
No, it won't count. You played it last year. Dang it. Oh, that is going to be the nail in your coffin. It's going to be how like, what's that stupid called? Suitable justice or something like that?
Poetic justice?
Poetic justice. That's right.
Suitable justice.
Suitable justice.
Oh, all right. Super Hot VR for $14.99.
Yeah, if you don't have it, I mean, what are you doing? But get it.
The Persistence for $17.99.
Definitely. Very good game. Top 3.
And Robinson the Journey finally got a price cut from $49.99 to $29.99, making it only the third most expensive game on the PSVR.
Oh, right. And it's still not worth it.
It's a launch title, but yeah, it's still really expensive. I want to play it, but man, that's a lot of money. So that's it for the sales. Not a ton of stuff coming out. Get Transpose, buy Chroma Gun, and buy Transpose, and you will be fully satisfied with the puzzle action on the PSVR.
That's right. Now the moment everyone's been waiting for, I'm sure. It is the winners of the Roast Box 2019. So now this is a random drawing. It doesn't have anything to do with how you roasted us, but we're going to read the roast anyhow because that's the whole point right here, right? So I want to give an honorable mention to Chaos because that dude, he literally roasts us every time he sees us. And I feel bad. I was pulling for you, dude, but the random drawing was not. It just wasn't. It didn't happen for you. But you're one of my favorite roasters. Even on Wednesday,
he was lighting me up in the stream. I've read it afterwards.
Yeah, he tears us up. It's hilarious. I love it. I'm sorry, dude. You will win something soon. Trust me. Even if I have to cheat and let you win, you'll win something. Trust me. Okay, so the winner of my box, which, I mean, hopefully you like ice cream sandwiches and a bunch of other random crap that I got, and hopefully Operation Warcade, is Mike Signey. So let me read. This guy was pretty good. So what he said here is he roasted both of us, Alex. He said, Adam, if I ever need a best friend to show me the way of pessimistic depression, you're the guy to go to. I've never heard anyone in my entire life talk so badly about video games or anything in general. I would rather stick my dick in a toaster and pour hot tar on it than listen to your negative game ranting again. So that was real good. I've never put my wee-wee in a toaster. And he said, Alex, you were the complete opposite of Adam in every way. I don't know how you guys are even friends. If there was a VR game about licking yellow snow and grabbing your testicles while doing so, you would give it you would rate it and give it a 10 out of 10. Not every game is good.
That game sounds pretty good, though.
I bet you would think so. And he also said that he doesn't think that either one of us have master debated in our life. That's not true.
Bam. Another feather in Adam's cap. He just master debated Mike right there.
I did. That was good. So, Mike, thank you very much for your roast. That was good. I enjoyed it. I will get your email this week. And actually, an address. I think we need to also try to get one of these winners to come on the podcast next time. That would be fun. I want to know how much they enjoyed my box.
I want a live roast, too, yeah.
Ooh, that would be good.
Yeah, a rump roast. Yeah, it'd be great.
Oh, I like that. I love rump roast.
All right. So the winner of my roast box, the MVP of the roast box 2019,
baby.
I want to say thank you to everybody that roasted us. It feels great to have you guys just berate us and slander us. We need to be knocked down a peg. We're on our high horses every week on this podcast. But my favorite roast, the winner of the roast box 2019 is going to get a busted up Game Boy Advance SP, is my man Matt Wake. Homeboy came at me a long time ago on the PlayStation Network. He just found me and friended me and just started ripping into Adam in my messages. I thought it was crazy. Then next episode, Adam and I rip into Firewall Zero Hour, and it lit a fire under Matt Wake's butt. And dude has gone to all of our videos since and has ripped into us, telling us about how he hates that we called Firewall Zero Hour a tech demo. And I'm gonna share a little bit of the roast that he dropped on us. I don't even know if he intended to enter. He just was roasting us in the comments section of our YouTube videos. Let's read it here. The episode where we talked about Ace Combat, he says, why even talk about Ace Combat for the VR? It's only a tech demo. Why even talk about it? And I told him,
it's not a complete game. It is a tech demo.
He's not wrong. To be fair, he called Mage's Tale and Trainer VR also tech demos. So yeah, he's got a motif here where he's got a tech demo chip on his shoulder.
Which is why I said tech demo of the week is Chroma Gun. Not because it's actually a tech demo, but because I'm playing with Matt. We love you, Matt.
I think it's a new segment of the show, the tech demo of the week. He then went on to say, just do me a favor. List your games for PSVR that are not tech demos. From your opinion, it's probably about zero, but good luck. It's just like you two hating on Werewolves Within. You both say you can't find a game, and you bash it for matchmaking. Play the game more than once, and you'll learn about werewolflobbies.com. But I'm just a guy that thinks Firewall is the best PSVR game, so I'm dumb, I guess. Man, he's dripping with sarcasm all over our face. I find it funny that you both are pro PSVR, but when a company builds a complete game from the ground up, you hate on it. Have fun flying kites, by the way, because that's a true VR game. Ooh, he's getting right.
I like that because it's not. He's legit on that. That freaking Stunt Kite Masters sucks. So I'm with you, Matt. I'm with you, dog.
And then our boy JD comes in to just see what's going on, test the waters with Matt, asking him, hey, man, why are you mad? Have you played Firewall? What's going on? And then Matt comes back and he just starts going ham. He says, yes, I have played it. Just like every single other PSVR game, it's a tech demo. So really, my message is F PSVR. It's full of tech demos. So please do not spread the word for VR. And if you do, say every game is a tech demo. That should boost sales for sure. I'm just glad that there's other people that feel the way that I do. Scare people away from PSVR. Rock on. Please tell me a non-tech demo game for VR. Oh my god! I think that's it for that one. It's just dude. I
love it. And Matt, we're we read roasts. We don't intend to pick on people, but just whatever roast we're trying to read. I love it, man.
Yeah, I love it too.
And the thing is, what I love is that most of the time I'm the one who says something stupid and people hate what I say. But you're piggybacking off something Alex said, so I love that. Just keep hammering away, dude. We love it. Hopefully, I have Mike's email, or I have his email because he contacted us on the website. Matt is on YouTube. I hope there's a way
I'm friends with him on PlayStation, man. I'll contact him right there.
That's right.
I'll talk to the man straight up on the party chat. I can't wait. I want to get this guy on. I want to. We just need to have a knockdown, drag out roast off about Firewall Zero.
Yeah,
my dream,
dude.
It's my dream.
Yeah.
Matt, Mike, thank you for just tearing us up, guys. And you know what? Keep them coming. We want the hits. We want to leave next week with bruises on the podcast if we can.
Yeah, I want to be missing a limb.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'll use my third member as a walking stick.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, Adam, we didn't get into it. You wanted me to.
Oh, that's right. Oh, this is gonna be our intro, dude. I'm hung. Guess who the biggest hung member of my jury is?
So Adam messages me in the middle of the week. Do you want me to answer your question, Adam? Is there a punchline for that? Who's the biggest member of your jury?
I said it wrong.
Okay, yeah. So Adam messages me in the middle of the week asking me what a hung jury is. I think he watched Arrested Development, and there was something with a hung jury, talking about William Hung. And Adam told me, no, don't tell me what it is. I'm going to figure out what it is on my own. Adam, what is a hung jury? What do you think it is?
First of all, I didn't figure out on my own. The only thing I think of is Big Dong, but I know that's not right. I obviously know that's not right. I'm assuming it's a bad thing because when they said it's a hung jury, I laughed and then everyone got up, which you don't do in court unless it's bad. So
But you said it at work. You said it's a hung jury.
I don't know what it is. I know it's bad. I'm assuming maybe they're collaborating with the persecution or something. I don't know. Is it too many dudes? Please tell me it's too many dudes and girls.
So it's a legal term, and I think it'd be hilarious if there was a legal term for whenever there's too many dudes on the jury, but that's not what it is, Adam. So imagine you and I got, a couple people together. We all got in a room, and we were trying to figure out what hung jury means. But we just got hung up on what the definition is. Half the team said that it means one thing. Half the team says that it means another. And we got hung up on that issue, and we couldn't come to a conclusion. Then we and ourselves would be a hung jury. That's what it is, Adam.
That is stupid.
It's when there's a stalemate and they can't decide what's happening.
Could they not come up with a better term than hung?
It's a long time ago, man. It's old etymology.
That is bull crap. Okay, everybody, thanks for listening. Congratulations to our Roast Box 2019 winners. We hope you enjoy your prizes. As always, guys, if you want PSVR-specific coverage, we got you covered. We got PlayPSVR.com. We got our Twitter. We got our Reddit. We got our Twitch. We got our YouTube. Check us out. Rate us. Berate us. We want to know what you want. We want to know what we can be doing better. We love you. We love PSVR. And we love tech demos. See you next week.